People are rallying to you, including Mike Lee today. I am curious, though, if your rallies have been marred by the kind of incidents that are actually maybe unfolding tonight at a Donald Trump rally. We're watching it very closely. There are reports of large number of demonstrators, and Tim Miller called it a culture of violence that surrounds and propagates the Trump campaign. That might be overstating it super PAC style. But have you had any of these incidents, Senator Cruz, that have gotten that ugly?
No, not remotely, and there's no doubt that a candidate bears responsibility for the culture that is set from the top. And my approach, listen, it comes from how you view the voters. Donald demands of the voters that they stand up and pledge their allegiance to him, pledge that they will vote for him. As I mentioned last night, I think that gets it exactly backwards. This is a job interview. Kings and queens demands of their subjects that they pledge allegiance to them. But in America, we don't pledge allegiance to men. We pledge allegiance to the flag. We pledge allegiance to the Constitution. But we don't pledge allegiance to men. And this is very much, each of us should be asking to work for 330 million Americans. And what I am doing is pledging my allegiance to you. And part of that is reflected on how you approach protesters. Because if you are the monarch from on high, the protester is disloyal and needs to be cast out and punished. My approach often here with protesters is if they're being civil, I'll often engage with them. We had an event up in Maine, huge rally in Maine. There were several college kids that stood up and began protesting. And I said, all right, stand up. Tell me what your concern is. Let's talk about illegal immigration. Let's talk about climate change. And I ended up having an impromptu 10-minute debate with a protester on substance. Said, listen, if you don't have a right to shout down this event, if you're disruptive, the police officers will escort you out. But if you want to engage in civil discourse, we can talk about it. In fact, I remember there was one event, Hugh, you may have seen a video of it online, where we were doing an event outside the White House protesting this terrible Iran deal and focusing on the American hostages. And we had protesters from Code Pink that began yelling us down. And I invited Medea Benjamin, who's the head of Code Pink. I said, listen, you can't shout this down and silence our speech. But if you want, pick one of you, and they picked Medea Benjamin. Come on up to the microphone. I'll give you my microphone. You make the case why this deal is a good deal, and I'll argue the other side. We had about a 25-minute impromptu, civil, respectful debate on the substance. I think that's reflective of a candidate who views the voters with respect, not as potential subjects for a monarch.
Hi, this is Hugh Hewitt. Thank you for stopping by my YouTube channel. Click right here to watch previous ones that you may not have seen, and click right here to subscribe to get all of them. And this is what you really need to do, is click right here to subscribe. Thanks for coming by. Don't miss a minute of any of the Hugh Hewitt YouTubes.